So this problem, we have Jason wants to dine at 3 different restaurants during a summer getaway. If 2 of 8 restaurants serve seafood, find the number of ways that at least one of the restaurants will serve seafood, given the condition that the order of selection is important. Okay, so the first thing is that they're telling us that the order of the selection is important, and that's telling us that we're working with permutations. And so the other thing that we want to look at in this problem is the words at least. When you're talking about at least, you have to think about what that means. So if I were to tell you I have at least 5 quarters in my pocket, that would mean that I could have 5 quarters, but I could also have more than that, right? I could have 6 quarters, I could have 7 quarters, I could have 8 quarters, and so on. And so these words at least here actually translate into more than one situation. And so it's actually easier in a problem like this to consider taking the complement of what it is that we're trying to find, or actually using the complement of the situation. Okay, so if we do that, then what we're going to do is we're going to take the total and we're going to subtract off what it is that we don't want, or what it is that isn't happening in the problem. So the total number of ways that he could choose 3 restaurants out of 8, if the order is important, is a permutation of 8 things taken 3 at a time. Now, the situation that we don't want is, this is the situation of no seafood restaurants. So if we calculate the no seafood restaurants, then, and we subtract that from the total, what will be left is the situation where he's dining at some of the seafood restaurants. So the number of restaurants that don't have seafood is 6 of them, right? Because it says 2 of the 8 have seafood. That means 6 of the 8 don't. So if I take a permutation of 6 things, taken 3 at a time, this is going to represent how many of these ways that he can choose a restaurant that doesn't have seafood. Okay, so subtracting that then from our total, and this is the idea of using a complement, is what's going to give us our solution here. So a permutation of 8 things taken 3 at a time. Have to grab my calculator here. So a permutation of 8 things taken 3 at a time, and I'm getting 336 for this value, or for this permutation right here. And then let's take 6 permutation 3 taken 3 at a time, and that's 120. And so if we subtract those, then we're looking at 216 for this problem.